All right. Hey, everyone. So excited today to be talking with Andrea Nierenberg. She is one of our country's experts on networking. She has written several books on the topic and even collaborated with two Marines, Mike Abrams and Mike Faulkner, on a book called Networking for Veterans. It's an incredible book. I encourage everyone to go check it out. It's on Amazon. And Andrea, thank you for taking a few minutes to share a few tips with our men and women.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate what they all do and thanking them for their service continually.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you. Why don't we what got you involved with networking? How did you decide you want to sort of be an author and expert on this subject?
Well, it's funny because, when you think about it, Jory, networking, I look at it as just people skills. It's communication. It's community. It's building a community. And never have I ever seen a group of community than the military branches. There's tightness, there's brotherhood, sisterhood, connectivity. So when I think about networking, I always say the opposite of networking is not working. Every time you meet someone, you can learn from them, be a resource, or give back. And one of the things that I noticed when I was working with the two Mikes that were the Marines were that that's exactly what everyone does in the military, helping each other, learn to be the best you can be to serve the country. And it's all about the community. And in corporate America and anywhere, job opportunities, it's always about, you got to know stuff, but it's who do you know too? And who do you know that can, you can help and they can help you? Because I always say, give without remembering, receive without forgetting, which was a quote that my father, who was in the Army and a physician, always would say, give without remembering, receive without forgetting. So give, help each other. And that's really what networking is. It's relationship building. And I will say something because of my experience speaking to different groups of people in the military. Never have I seen such a group of wonderful people who are so educated and so knowledgeable and have such leadership skills at a young age.
Right.
And they have incredible responsibilities and they're on time, which probably when they get to corporate America, they find that, well, that people aren't always on time. The one piece of advice I would say is you set your bar so high, which I think is wonderful. Sometimes when we expect other people to live up to exactly how we are, and they don't always. And so any of the people in the military that I've ever worked with or coached, I've often said, you are always on time. You always do extra. You don't leave until the job is done. Don't expect everyone to be like you. So I had to throw that out because it's so important. But it's relationship building.
Yeah, it's too bad the civilians don't follow that lead. I think corporate America would be much better off for it. But
you are so right. And another thing that comes to mind for me is, people in the military don't leave until the job is done. They don't say, okay, it's 5:30, got to go, or whatever. Exactly. And I was so in awe of the responsibility that people had at such a young age, and never leave. What is that, the term? And again, I don't know. No soldier left behind, or no, you know what I mean. So like if someone is hurt or something is going on, you make sure that you carry them on your back and take them to. So it's developing. So the people in the military helping each other is the key too. Just helping. You never know.
Absolutely. So I think a lot of people don't understand the true meaning of networking in the business sense, of, you're out of work looking for your next opportunity. Can you explain a little bit about what really is networking and how should they take advantage?
It's building relationships, and it's not about what can I get, it's about how can I learn or give. And the reality is we shouldn't just be, quote, networking, because it sounds like work. But net building, net relationships, all the time. Even when I've worked with people that were senior people at big corporations, that they said their biggest challenges of networking was through the organization. So my philosophy was always been develop relationships, connect and learn and help people that are up, down, sideways, and across. It's not just, we all know people that know how to network, if you will, up, but they forget also to network down and connect all throughout. And the other thing, it's not just about what can I get, it's about how do I make the other person feel important with sincerity? How do I develop that relationship? How do I connect with them on their preferred method of communication? So something I would always ask someone when I meet and connect with them, 2 questions is, what's your preferred method of communication if we were going to talk again? Because so many people assume that, oh, I'll just call them. I said, don't call, they may not be there.
Right.
Or don't text, they may not know how to use some text. I'm talking about some people, not anybody of them. But I'm saying, and don't just assume that they're on social media. So I say every day, do 3 things. Write people handwritten notes, something that people have forgotten to do. The power of the pen, I talk about it all the time.
I got some right here. I was just writing to people, see?
Yes, see? And I call it your biggest investment. I think now stamps cost 55 cents. Your 55-cent investment plan. Write 3 notes a day to say thank you, connect with ever. 3 a day, make 3 phone calls, make 3 emails, and do 3 texts. The power, so it just multiply by 3. But I actually asked somebody, so what's your preferred method? Because people say, oh, I use all of them, but they have a preferred method. Just like you email someone, they call you back, or vice versa. Yeah. And the other question I always ask somebody is, how do I know, Jordy, when I'm speaking to somebody that you might want to connect with or meet? That doesn't necessarily mean that I know them or can help. However, if you tell me now what you're looking for, I can now put that away in my little database, which I have something called the information bank, and I'll send it to you if you'd like to send out to anyone. It's a list of questions and things you get to develop over time about people. So I know today I had to reach out to 5 different people about something I saw in the Wall Street Journal because it made a bell in my mind, bring up they're interested in that. Not for any personal gain, just to say, I'm thinking of you. You popped in my mind, here's something.
I think that's great advice, especially what your dad gave to you and how what you were just saying, how you don't always look out for yourself. So many times I say to a veteran, oh, are you doing any networking? What are you up to? And, oh yeah, I'm talking to people and I'm handing them my resume and asking them for a job, and nobody has a job. And I feel like there's a disconnect. They don't understand that's not the networking we're talking about here.
It's not. And it's so not. Networking, people used to think was go to an event, go to a meeting, or just reach out to people because I need. No. Right. Give first. And people say, well, what can I give? Advice, suggestions, thoughts, get involved, join groups.
Appreciation too, like you said, thank you so much for guidance. And
you know what? Those 2 words, thank you, you'd think they were so simple, are probably the least used word. People say to me now, and I've written to date over 22,000 notes because I started when I was a very young age, and I still follow up with my 3 notes a day. And I will tell you something, they're short, sweet, and to the point. Because now I run an online business, an e-marketing, e-commerce business I'm involved with for 2 years. So my point is always say thank you. And I always have a philosophy, believe in everyone, however, wait for no one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because again, so many people say, oh, I'll call you back. I'll get back to you. They never do. Yeah. So I believe in you, but I don't wait.
Yeah. I'd love to hear your thoughts on, the internet today has made it so easy for people to apply to jobs. And I just feel it's the wrong message because people, they sit at home going, apply, not even thinking 2 minutes about that job. So few people get hired that way. And compare that to the power of building real and honest relationships that are genuine, and how can that help somebody in the career compared to this thing that's ingrained in us to like, oh, this is how you get hired. And I just feel there are better ways out there.
There are. And first of all, when people go on LinkedIn or any tool, they see somebody, and a lot of times they connect, but they don't write a note. And one of the things otherwise, it becomes quote unquote, and I come from this industry because I was a magazine publisher of a magazine called Target Marketing, direct marketing. People will just send out that click, that very default. No, take the time to research, look at the person, connect with them and say, I think we might have some things in common, or I'd like to connect with you. do not start pitching them on something, number one. And second of all, don't just create, like a lot of people, and you're from you're from Western Mass, right? In Lenox area in Berkshires, Amherst, where the great college is. I was from New York City. I said, I don't need another New York City phone book. It's not about quantity. It's about quality.
Yep.
And that's one of the things. And I always remember that. So there's a very interesting little tool that I'm sure you know of. And I have to tell you, in all my years of speaking and consulting, I'm still in shock how many people do not utilize this tool. It's called Google Alerts. So you're familiar with Google Alerts. People say, well, what is it? I say it's an automatic content aggregator. So if you type in a keyword, and I would tell every person I deal with, type in everything about your company, yourself, your name, your prospects, and your clients. Because what happens is you'll just get information. So do your research in your home. So if the people don't know that, any company that they're even looking at, and see if any of the people that they're even talking to were in a military branch, right?
It gives you that reason to connect and reach out, so you have something of substance to say.
Commonality. Common. What do we have in common? That's what people, that's the glue.
Yeah. And I think you said it in the beginning, the military culture. I didn't serve, but I didn't around veterans for the last 6 years. It is so tight, and these bonds, if you just leverage them,
and don't feel, so everybody who's listening, don't feel you're using, because you're not. You're saying, hey, do you have some advice for me? Or what do you suggest? Or guess what? I know you're interested in this. I actually have a buddy or a neighbor who does this. Maybe I can put the two of you together. I always say every day, find ways to connect other people. Like 1 + 1 = 3. They'll remember you down the road.
Right.
But don't look for that. The thing that I hate was people say, well, what am I going to get out of it? I said,
don't worry.
Just gratitude. You never know when it's going to come back.
Absolutely. Andrea, this is awesome. I can't thank you enough. You have so much wisdom in you and knowledge. And I really hope people check out your books.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing that I would love to do. The book Networking for Veterans is the only book out of all my books that I don't have control over. It's on Amazon, and I don't even know what they price it for, because it's, but it's with Pearson Publishing. My suggestion for anybody, I put my books up, the other books, which is Networking that Gets Results, and $1 Million Networking. These books, or Networking for College Students and Graduates, is good for everybody. It's the same material, the same thing, and it's on Amazon for like $8. Okay. My whole theory is not to make money from these books. I don't care. I would send them out free, but I have to have a placeholder in there. So I would say that if anybody says, because, I don't know what Amazon, or not Amazon, but it's through Pearson prices the other book for, because they change it a lot, and it's absurd. It really is. So I would say don't buy it there.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't want people
the info. I understand. Yeah, that comes through. I could tell you're passionate about helping people, and which is.
And I will send you, if it's okay with you, via email. I have this thing called the Information Bank, things to know about people over time. And I would say, if anybody wants it, or if anyone has a question, if you ever have any of your people that ever have a question or comment, text me or send me, I'm happy to help, because my whole thing is, I see my father coming from heaven all the time. He was the greatest. He's give without remembering, receive without
forgetting. That's a great line. I love that. He was a smart man. Hey, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, this was great. You are awesome, and I thank you so much.
And I apologize for all the times that I was in traffic. That was my fault. A Marine wouldn't do that. I know. Take care. Bye-bye.